I'm addicted and expensive. Byron Wilcott. And I'm watching WGS-TV.
Welcome back to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer. I'm Don't Beat Billy Boudreaux, and this is going to be my Friday Night Smackdown review for the week of March 9th, 2012. Now, guys, keep in mind, you know, as we saw on Monday Night Raw when Teddy Long was in charge, if I can learn to talk right now, sorry, of Monday Night Raw, we have John Laurnitis, who is in charge of this week's Friday Night Smackdown, and we open up with a steel cage United States title match between Santino Marella and Jack Swagger. And of course, you know, it's Laurnitis' attempt to get the title off of Santino, because apparently, if you guys saw Monday Night Raw, he was not happy with it. Entertainment value-wise, I really enjoyed it. It's not very often we open up Friday Night Smackdown with a steel cage match, and it's not very often we see a steel cage match in WWE programming as of late. But you know, we had one back in November, and now we're already in March, and we haven't. So it was about 2 to 3 month gap since we had a steel cage match. So I'm not going to really complain about the fact that we really haven't had steel cage matches all that much. But I thought it was really done well. They did a really good job, not only putting over Jack Swagger, but they Santino Marella, phenomenal job, and they kept the title on him. You know, they had Santino win the match. For those of you who didn't see it, Vicky Guerrero was, you know, trying to do the typical heel thing. You know, we've seen it all the time. You know, their heel managers or any of their cohorts that are being involved in a steel cage match. What do? They take the door, slam it on the opponent's head. However, it was kind of reversed in this instance, because, you know, instead of Santino being in there, by the way, he was locked in the ankle lock, and then he reversed it without Vicky Guerrero knowing, and she slammed the door on Swagger's head, knocking him out. Santino comes out of the steel cage, keeps the United States title. And then, of course, we had the trombone celebration, and Teddy Long, of course, very happy that Santino is still the United States champion. Like I said on my Monday Night Raw review, I'm really looking forward to this United States title run they're going to be doing with Santino Marella. Like I said, he's a former Intercontinental champion, and, you know, he had a great run, you know, as champion, so I'm really expecting good things out of Santino with the United States title. Now, for some reason on this particular Smackdown, after this match, we had, I want to say, well, I didn't really time it or anything of that nature, but what it felt to me was about maybe 20 minutes of promos, 20 to 25 minutes of promos. You know, in several instances, you know, they were looking back on Shawn Michaels and Triple H from Monday Night Raw, and then, of course, they did a look back on Rock and John Cena, and then they also had a segment involving John Laurnitis, David Otunga, and Teddy Long. Apparently, Laurnitis had made a statement on last week's Friday Night Smackdown, saying that when he takes over this on this Smackdown, that he was going to make Oksana take on Kane, and you know, it was a ridiculous segment because it led up to something truly ridiculous later in the night. But what they did is they set up a match between Teddy Long and John Laurnitis, and if Teddy Long wins the match, then Oksana has to face Kane. That was the ruling from John Laurnitis. So we're gonna have a match with Teddy Long and John Laurnitis, the general managers. Yeah. Now we saw storyline-wise last week Drew McIntyre getting fired because he kept losing his matches non-stop. But John Laurnitis, since he took over Friday Night Smackdown for this week, courtesy of the Board of Directors, he gives Drew McIntyre a chance. You know, he says if he beats his opponent tonight, he's going to get rehired. And first off, the first person that came out was the Great Khali. Because it looked like Laurnitis is going to stick it to Drew McIntyre like Long has been doing it. Well, Long really hasn't been doing it, but it looked like Laurnitis was going to stick it to him by having him face a Great Khali. And then David Otunga comes out and says, no, this is not your real opponent. Here comes your real opponent, and it's Hornswaggle. And let's just say it was about 2 to 3 minutes of horse shit. Now, I know Drew McIntyre is very, very talented. And I've been saying it for the longest time, WWE needs to start utilizing him as a proper talent instead of having him lose week in and week out. But, you know, if you want to put him back over by having him beat Hornswaggle, I don't know what WWE was thinking. I don't know what WWE was thinking. Oh, by the way, I forgot to give my rating on the steel cage match. I do apologize, you know. When I get on a certain track, when I start thinking about something, I lose focus of what I'm supposed to do in this review. The steel cage match is a 4 out of 5 for me. But this match, Drew McIntyre and Hornswaggle, it still boggles my mind as to who absolutely greenlit that to be a good idea. Drew McIntyre is a good talent for the WWE. A good talent for Friday Night Smackdown. And they're going to have him face Hornswaggle. Instead of putting on a really good, entertaining match, they're going to stick him with Hornswaggle. What happened to the last guy that got stuck with Hornswaggle? Chavo Guerrero. And he has never been seen again in the WWE. So why are they sticking the Hornswaggle curse on Drew McIntyre? I have no idea. 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5. Next up, we had basically another match that was about 3 to 4 minutes. Basically, it was almost like squash matches that were leading up until the Teddy Long John Laurinaitis match, which I have a lot to say about that. Mark Henry, Ezekiel Jackson, it was okay, not really impressive, but not bad either. So it's the score I'm gonna give it is right down the middle. It's gonna go 3 out of 5. Ezekiel Jackson looked good, so did Henry. Henry looked like he showed no ill effects from the groin injury he was suffering from for the longest time. And they also made mention of the fact that he got inducted into the a Sports Hall of Fame here. It escapes me at the moment because it's been a while since SmackDown has been. I saw it on TV. I apologize. I know it's in the news somewhere. I just don't have the information in front of me. But he was inducted into a Hall of Fame with about his his powerlifting, his deadlifting, everything he did in the Olympics. Being a strongman and all that kind of stuff. And I thought it was okay. But as far as leading up to this match with Mark Henry, Ezekiel Jackson, again, nothing special. Wasn't bad, but it was nothing special. 3 out of 5. Then we have Teddy Long and John Laurinaitis. Now I'll talk about whose bright idea was it to greenlit Drew McIntyre and Hornswaggle. Whose bright idea was it to greenlit Teddy Long and John Laurinaitis? How utterly Let me calm down a little bit because I'm going to say something in this video that some people are not going to like. And, I'm going to start getting negative comments, and I don't want that. But as far as match-wise concerned, well, let me say this. They had John Laurinaitis came out with what looked like a one-piece suit, black, and it really didn't leave much to the imagination. And seeing John Laurinaitis in that kind of outfit almost made me puke. It almost made me puke. Laurinaitis is kind of suffering from the Ric Flair effect. Everything is sagging. And I think if they had a man boob contest between Ric Flair and John Laurinaitis, it'd be really hard to tell who would be the winner. But the main focus was not only for the general managers, but they actually had Kane come out, and as soon as Kane was making his way to the ring, Randy Orton comes out and RKO's him on the floor. which again leads me to believe that they're really going to do something with Kane and Randy Orton at WrestleMania. We're starting to really get that affirmation that they're really going to go with that route, and they're really going to cultivate the feud in WrestleMania, and it kind of makes sense. You know, why not take a really good feud that's been kind of brewing with Randy Orton and Kane and have it culminate at the biggest show of the year at WrestleMania? It really makes sense if you think about it. And as far as Teddy Long and John Laurnitis, 1 out of 5. I wish I hadn't seen it. And it's about a few minutes of my life, about 3 to 5 minutes of my life I will never get back. Never get back, and I hold the WWE personally responsible for robbing me of 5 minutes of my life. Now, I know all the fans are out there are happy. You know, Teddy Long got the win over John Laurnitis. Yeah, woo-hoo! Yes, Teddy Long won over John Laurnitis. It was such an exciting match. Next up, we have R-Truth and Kofi Kingston. And I want to throw out a challenge to the WGS-TV viewers and subscribers. You know, if you guys want to do it, it's totally up to you. But it's kind of a little challenge. Now, you guys remember how they sent out the message, you know, name the tag team of Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston. What would be the... I want to challenge you guys out here. You know, I know the WWE really ain't going to follow through with it. They ain't going to say nothing, yada, yada, yada. But, you know, if you guys could name... you know, if you could give R-Truth and Kofi Kingston a tag team name, what would that name be? Put your answers in the comment sections below, and I'll look forward to what you guys have to say. But they took on Epico and Primo, and right now the tag team that really seems to be over, I'm going to quote the Studley Man Ashley on this one, is R-Truth and Kofi Kingston, because quite evident they got the win over Epico and Primo. Very decent match, and I guess we're probably going to be seeing a tag team title match at WrestleMania between these two teams. And I'm going to go ahead and give the match. I thought it was, you know, really decent, and the fact that we got to see Rosa Mendez dance. I hope I didn't seem creepy for that. A 4 out of 5. Please tell me I wasn't creepy, guys. Please, 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 please. All right, and next up we're going to look at the segment involving Daniel Bryan and Sheamus, and because Michael Cole is interviewing, and again, you know, Michael Cole, I can commentate circles around you, and I don't even have a journalism degree, and I can do better than you. Anyway, they had Michael Cole bash Daniel Bryan since his arrival in the WWE, and now that he's turned heel, what did they have him do? They have him kiss his ass, basically. Called him, "Hey, champ." I want to say this, though. I want to say this. In his time in the WWE, Sheamus has really gotten good on the microphone. I really enjoyed the little segment, the little back and forth he had with Daniel Bryan, and he's becoming really entertaining on the microphone. You know, and that's always a positive. That's always a plus in my book. You can not only entertain the crowd in the ring, you know, with your matches, but if you can entertain them on the mic as well with what you say, that's always a really big plus in my book. That means that you really start to get over, and you're really starting to do a really good job, and I got to give it to both Daniel Bryan and Sheamus. More along the lines of Sheamus, Daniel Bryan, great in the ring. Mic skills still can use some work. But like I said, whenever Sheamus is cutting a promo, it's really becoming entertaining, and I really enjoyed tonight's one too as well. And that led up to the 6-man tag match. It was Daniel Bryan, Cody Rhodes, and The Miz taking on The Big Show, Sheamus, and Randy Orton. Decent 6-man tag match, but it ended in a no contest when we had Kane and Randy Orton come out, and they pretty much ended Friday Night Smackdown with Kane and Randy Orton fighting in the crowd. Which, again, I'm sorry, I can't talk tonight. What the hell's wrong with me? Again, that gives me the affirmation, that gives me, you know, that belief that the WWE will be doing something with Kane and Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Maybe a gimmick match. Who knows? You know, we can't do a Hell in a Cell match because that gimmick's already been taken. I mean, Triple H and The Undertaker with Shawn Michaels as the guest referee, that's already been taken. So if they could do another gimmick, you know, if they... would a gimmick match really be necessary, though? Would it be necessary? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here for you guys. You know, if you have any... If you guys want to, you know, little back and forth here about that. Would a gimmick match be really necessary if they really do go through with what it really looks like? Randy Orton and Kane at WrestleMania. If I could pick one gimmick match that they could possibly do at WrestleMania, just from what we saw tonight on Friday Night Smackdown, you know, with the way they started fighting in the crowd, it's possible. There are two possibilities. Two possibilities, if you think about it. One is a street fight. We can have a street fight between Randy Orton and Kane, where they can fight on the crowd. And two, they can possibly they could have a Falls Count Anywhere match. Of course, last time we had a Falls Count. No, it was Last Man Standing. I apologize. So it could either be a street fight, or it could be a Falls Count Anywhere match between Randy Orton and Kane at WrestleMania. Again, just thinking out loud for you guys here. If you guys have any thoughts you would like to shoot back at me, you know, if you agree or disagree, or if you have another idea for a gimmick match that they could do with Randy Orton and Kane at WrestleMania, I'd love to hear back from you. Also, another thing I'd like to hear back from you guys is, what were your thoughts on Friday Night Smackdown this week? You know, what were your ratings for each match? What were your ratings for the segments? What was your favorite moment and match of the night? You know the way to do it. Leave your comments in the comment section below, or in a video response with your thoughts, again, on Friday Night Smackdown this week. Don't forget to also like and favorite this video. And don't forget, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestlingGamer. And by the way, YouTube, your new layout sucks. So with that being said, if YouTube hasn't yanked me out for saying that, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux saying thank you very much for watching.